What I'm about to say, or part of what I'm saying in this video, is going to be super long-winded, a little bit conscious, and it's just me talking, like just saying what's up, like in my head, what's on my mind. I'd like it if you listen, like that would mean like that would make me feel some type of way, I guess. But if not, like I get it. Like most people don't want to listen to someone just talk their feelings about, not even just about stuff that revolves around them, but about life and about the world and just human consciousness and stuff. Yo, there's so much like I want to say about stuff, and like when I get the opportunity to like talk about it, or when I have time to make videos, I try to make it all, you know, formatted and, you know, with a dope background and whatnot. But like I just want to like put my feelings out there. I've been like just watching stuff that's just real, movies I wouldn't have watched before, like new music that I wouldn't listen to before. Like I'm listening to stuff right now, which is probably rude because I'm trying to talk, but I don't want to stop listening because I feel more alive when I'm being fed something that's entertaining. I'm addicted to the internet. Anytime that I'm not working or sleeping, I'm on the internet, usually watching some type of video content. If I could watch music videos and like TV and movies like constantly, I probably would, like just plug into the system. Just messed up. You know, we're blessed with this thing called life and consciousness and opportunity, and yet all I want to do is just listen to music, you know, be fed information rather than say information. I like talking about positive stuff, right? But it's sometimes you got to take a little bit of a process. You got to acknowledge the negative. And my problem is I always try to downplay it and not fault people, but to try to say, oh yeah, negativity is bad, or negativity doesn't exist. Things just exist, and then we classify them as what they are. I want to feel happy. I'm not like that's real. Like that's the truth. That's really how I feel. In order for me to feel happy, I have to know that I'm not feeling sad. Sometimes I feel like the things that make me happy, watching stuff on the internet or listening to stuff, actually distances me from existing and really being in the here and now where I am, which makes me sad. So the things that I think make me happy in the short term, in the bigger picture, actually make me sad. Maybe not sad, but just kind of like disappointed in that I feel like I'm not doing enough. I always hold the camera up like this because I'm self-conscious about the fat on my neck and like under my chin and stuff. I'm gonna put that out there. Like honestly, like I just want to be honest about everything. Like if I can set an example, and I just made a song about this with my dad. Yeah, I've been doing music too. Yo, my mind is always like trailing, like my mind is exhausted. It thinks constantly, which I love that it works because a lot of people don't think about anything, but it also trips me out. My mind goes all over the place, and it's really hard for me to like focus on stuff. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing, I'm not really sure. But anyway, like there are young people I know who just feel they have to be a certain way, don't acknowledge how they truly feel, or won't try to even discover how they're truly feeling, because, you know, they're like, oh, well, people only talk about when they're feeling this way, when they're feeling good, or when they're stunting, or when they're showing something off. No one talks about when they're insecure about something, and not even just bad stuff, right? Like insecurities and being self-conscious about stuff. Just everything, like good, bad, and everything in between. Maybe me being more open will make, you know, some kid want to feel like he or she can be more open with themselves, with their friends, with their family, and just move forward as a human being. Sometimes I feel like I'm stuck. Sometimes I feel like I'm moving forward. It really depends on the day. I still acknowledge things that I'm insecure about, and people are like, oh, well, you shouldn't feel insecure about stuff. Actually, I was talking to somebody earlier where I was saying at work, I'm like, oh, I feel like I have this feeling, I don't know if this is necessarily true, but like what I feel is like I feel everyone thinks I'm inefficient, and like I'm afraid of like them either discipline me or me losing my job. And like I don't actually care about like having that job in particular as such. Not that I'm not appreciative of what that grants me and the people, because most of the people there are pretty cool, but losing that job would just mean uncertain financial standing, which again, that in itself doesn't actually bother me, but then that means I'm not sure how I'm gonna pay for my rent and my car and my food. It's messed up that food is the last thing that I'm thinking of, and the first thing I'm thinking of is the rent, right? Which means like living on my own. It's not that I have an issue living with my parents, right? Because like they're great and everything. I just like being on my own. I really prefer being alone, which is kind of messed up, but at the same time, it's always how it felt. Like since I was a kid, anyone who knows me like really, really well knows that I kind of feel most comfortable when I'm either by myself or maybe with one other person that I trust. I also told a girl that, you know, I'm like, I don't trust people, unfortunately girls especially, just like because of how people have treated me up to this point. And it's not that like the past equals the future, because it doesn't. Things can change and things do change, some things. I don't know how to fix that issue. I mean, I guess I could just blindly trust people, and like until someone gives me a reason not to. And even when they do, like I usually like just forgive and just let go. Like I try not to hang on to that type of stuff, because it ends up affecting me more than the other person. Like if you lie to me, right, or you do something that's disloyal, if you don't feel bad about it, but I feel bad about it, and my feeling bad is, oh, I dislike that person because they made me feel bad. That doesn't affect the other person. That affects me. Like, me feeling upset with somebody else doesn't affect them. But it affects my vibe and my mood. That's going to affect the tone of my conversations for the rest of the day. I wish my thoughts were more organized. And if I don't record these thoughts now, not that I'm going to forget them, because they're there because they're real. Like, they're just how I feel right now. But, like, when it's like, okay, it's the middle of the afternoon, or it's the, like whatever time of day, okay, let me hit record and make a video. Thoughts don't always come when you want them to. Like, I'm just speaking what's on my head right now. I'm not, like, sad as such. It's just kind of like, well, there's a lot of stuff to be aware of. My main point with this whole long-winded discussion was I want to be more open and honest with everything. I'm looking at a picture right now of someone who promotes positivity like crazy, and I love them for that. Like, they're super dope. And I guess, I mean, if that's the brand you're making, like, it makes sense. But like that's just a lot of positivity. Again, not that that's a bad thing. Like, I don't want to be misunderstood. That's another thing. I hate being misunderstood. That like makes me feel some kind of way. Sounds really cliche. That wasn't meant to rhyme. I'm just curious, like, do you, like, if you're someone who promotes positivity all the time on your social media and whatever, do you actually feel that level of contentment constant, like, literally 24 hours a day? And for those that you don't, what is the reason that you're not promoting that? I don't want to promote negativity, but I just want to question why certain feelings are here and just try to work through them rather than dismiss them. Because I'm one to dismiss negative stuff and then reinforce positive stuff. I never question the negative stuff, I just kind of dismiss it. Maybe that's the problem, maybe that's why it keeps coming up. Until I come up with a solution for a problem is always going to be a problem, because I'm not trying to solve it. You know what's funny? Have you ever, like, been having a conversation with someone? Obviously, you know what you're thinking. It's crazy, because, like, there's the part of you that is having the thought, then there's the part of you that is understanding the thought that you're having while you're having it, and then there's the part of you that's aware of both of those parts, and then there's the part of you that then has to take all of that and put it out to somebody, like, to communicate that thought. Those pathways I find are, well, I can't say with other people, I mean, but like, I feel like they're messed up with me. Not messed up, but like they trip over each other every now and then. That's why I stutter and stuff, and that's why I feel like sometimes people are not getting everything. I have a thought, I understand the thought, I'm aware that I'm having an understanding of thought, but then I have to communicate my thought. And sometimes in the length of time it takes me to communicate the thought, I'm already having another one to understand it, then to be aware of the fact that I'm having and understanding it while I'm trying to communicate the last one. And then sometimes everything that you're thinking, understanding, are aware of doesn't always get communicated in full. Like, imagine how much stuff is being thought about, understood, and is known to whatever you call those parts of people's minds. Imagine how much of that there is that isn't being communicated. And on top of that, even if you communicate it, whoever's at the other end still has to understand that. One, they have to hear it, and then they have to understand. And then sometimes you even have to reflect, which then involves you thinking about what you were just communicated. That's why it's really tough for people to truly connect. There's a lot of pathways. And if your pathways aren't super smooth, which if I had to guess, most people's aren't, that's a lot of unknown information, and like unknown to whoever is not having those thoughts. If I have a thought, I understand my thought, I'm aware that I'm having an understanding of thought, and then try to communicate it to somebody, but somehow the thought doesn't come out in full or in complete accuracy, then whoever I'm talking to, presuming that they're listening, like actively listening, even that being the case, are they going to get everything that was my original thought that I then understood and was aware of and then tried to communicate? Are they going to get everything? Probably not. And like, think of like how much information is being lost in translation. Tons. And the thing is, you can't measure that. Like, there's no physical weight to a thought. There's value, I guess, in every thought, but like, what unit of value would you use to quantify thought? That's crazy. There's probably more that I can say, but like, I think I've worked through my thought process for now. I hope you're having a really good day. And if you listen to all of that, then wow. And if you got most of it, that's awesome, right? I totally don't expect anybody to understand everything that I just said, because that was a lot to take in. I'd like to say be on the lookout for more conscious posts on my Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all of that stuff. But, you know, who knows? Tomorrow I might just be feeling great and just want to be like, yeah, girl, what did he do? I just go with the moment, you know? That's how I like to do things. Anyway, I hope you're having a good day. Thanks for listening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I still love that. I think it's super dope.